Good morning. Happy Friday. Nice to be here back. Coffee and a card. And it is Friday, August 4th. Had to think for a minute. And we'll wait for a few people to get on. All right. So I hope you have your beverage. Let me grab mine. Whether it's coffee, tea. Some people like, somebody said I drink Diet Coke in the morning. Maybe to get that caffeine. Some people don't like hot beverages. So I know some people who never drink any hot beverages. They'll eat soup, but they don't like the hot beverages. So, yeah, so good morning. Good morning. Don't forget to sign in. If you're watching live, sign in and you can get a entry into my raffle. Just for signing in, say hello like Lois did. Good morning. And you're ready. Okay. Nice, Lois. I hope you had a nice visit with your relatives, with your girls. And everyone's ready for a weekend, I hope. So, yeah. So getting excited for the new mini catalog. Anybody? Okay, I know you're looking for new fall and winter things. It is available for demonstrators to see right now online, and there's some fun things in there. Okay, if you love fall and winter, you're gonna love it. And there are a lot of new designer series papers. I'll be doing another paper share with those, and just it's stock full of all the fall and winter things. There's a cute little skeleton set if you like Halloween, and die cuts, and it's just going to be lots of fun. So I did a pre-order. Demonstrators could pre-order a month ahead of time. So I did a pre-order, and it's coming today because I rushed the order. I couldn't wait to see my things and share what was in the box with you. So sometime in the next few days, I'll do an unboxing video and share what's in the box and show you what's coming up. So I can show you the actual products, and I can show you projects made with the products, but I can't show you the actual catalog. Stampin' Up! Says we can't do that. So anyway, it's all good. Good morning, Karen. Ooh, you're on today. I'm surprised to see you. All right, and Marcia, good morning to you too. Yeah. So grab your beverage, take some sips before we get started. Let me know who's crafting along today. Didn't have too many pieces. This is a brand new layout for me, and hopefully for you too. Good morning, Patty. So like I said, I'm drinking tea today, and I have to drink it while it's hot, because if it gets lukewarm, it doesn't sit in my stomach very well. So Elizabeth, good morning to you. Okay. No vacation Bible school today? I thought you'd be busy with that. Okay. Oh, you're going to try, Patty? Okay, good. It's easy. It'll be fine. It'll be good. It's a new design that's kind of popular with a lot of demonstrators right now. So we're going to jump on the bandwagon, and I'll show you how to do that too. All right. So yeah, don't forget, again, reminder, say good morning and let me know who's on so that you can be part of the raffle. All right, I'm just going to check something on my other computer here. Give me one moment while we get ready. And yeah, so what's everybody up to this weekend? Anything good? Anything fun? We'll be visiting with our neighbors. They have a boat. They've invited us out on the boat, so we'll go out on the bay here near Baltimore, and that should be fun. And apparently we're going for crabs. So first time we've had those in a long time. A long time. Yeah, so it's going to be fun. Hopefully the weather will be good. Good morning, Ardeen. Green tea. Okay, yeah, I like green tea. Not in the morning, though. I like that more. That's my afternoon or evening kind of tea. But, yeah, I like all kinds of tea. Do some herbals, do some black teas. Right now I have PG Tips. It's a British tea. So it's good, strong, good, strong tea. So, yeah, lucky me, Lois. Yes, yes. We were out on our boat once before. and they gracious enough to invite us out again. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Looking forward to it. And yeah, so we have, looks like we have people hopping on, so that's all good. All good. Like I said, if you didn't hear yet, I'll be doing an unboxing video real soon with the new products from the mini. It's good until the end of December. And then, you know, January starts celebrations, so we'll be getting those catalogs out at some point. If you are already a customer of mine, then you are already on my mailing list to receive a catalog. And if you are not already a customer and you need a demonstrator, I'm happy to be yours. And you can request a catalog from me. If you need an annual catalog, let me know. I can send that to you now. If you have, if you give me, once I order my catalogs for the new mini, I can send those out to you later in the month. Okay? So those of you who already are on my list, you're getting yours direct from Stampin' Up! As soon as they go out. So that'll be the quicker way to do it. All right? All right, so people ready to stamp? I hope so. Let's say good morning, and if you want to say where you're from, that's always fun to see. So we are going to do today what's called a faux shutter card. All right, there are some cards that are called a shutter card. So when you open it and close it, the middle kind of opens and closes. There are pieces that overlap like a shutter and a camera. I want to say an old-fashioned camera because not the digital ones. Okay, the old, they call them SLR cameras, single lens reflex camera, where, you know, the shutter opened and closed, and that's what gave you that clicking sound. It went, right? So it opened and closed really quickly. And so there are cards that are interactive, that when you open it, you see that opening, you know, get wider and close again. So, but this is kind of a faux way to do it. It's not really going to be interactive. Hi, Tina. I thought I saw you hop on. Oh, Ardene's from British Columbia. Great. And so this is a faux one. It's not going to be interactive, but it's going to kind of give you appearance of a shutter on those types of cameras. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started. There's a couple different ways to do this particular design. I'm going to show you maybe two. And there are some that are more complicated, and then some that people have simplified a little bit too. Hi, Renee, Western New York. Okay, very good. Yay, nice to see everybody today. All right, cheers. One more sip of my tea. I'll be right with you. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. Okay, my August host code, okay, the code changes monthly. So my August host code is here. You can also find it on my blog. If you have an order that is under $150, please use this host code. It gets me a little bit more credit than usual, and it's very helpful for me. So if your order is $150 or more, starting at $150, you qualify for host rewards. So if your order is $150, or you combine a few friends to reach that level, you will start getting host rewards starting 10%. So that's $15. That's pretty good. And a lot of you have coupons from last month when you ordered. Make sure you use those. Type down the number. There's a place when you're ordering your products, it says a place to enter the coupon code. So you'll do that. Make sure you put a space. Well, you'll put one per line. Okay, you can use multiple ones if you earn multiple ones. So this is the host code for August. You can also find it on my blog in the sidebar. Okay, so the faux shutter card. If you're crafting along, don't do anything yet, because I'm going to show you the easier version. And this is sort of the second easiest version here. All right, so there are two things you need to do here. All right, so one version had a lot of layers, and that's why some demonstrators, and myself included, were saying there could be an easier way to get a similar look without necessarily all the layers. I understand all the layers because it's going to give you that feeling of depth, because when you look into the camera shutter, it goes deep into the camera. So I understand that could be what this card is simulating. But some people have figured out a way to make it look very, very, very similar with fewer steps and fewer layers. All right, so you could use for this card your stylish shapes, and we're going to be using the squares here. And if you don't have the stylish shapes, maybe you have some other square die cuts, but it definitely is easy with a die cut. I mean, there are ways you can cut a square with your trimmer, but it might not look quite as neat. All right, so what you will need is 2 layers here. You need a black layer that is the same size. Okay, this is not what you're doing, so this is just the other way. So just hang out and listen, drink your beverage. Hi, Michelle. Okay, you could copy Facebook. Oh, yes, you can copy and paste them, so you don't have to type them all in and worry about making a mistake. So that's helpful, but just make sure there's a line between each one. All right, but sometimes people had several orders, and they might have coupon codes sent to them one day and then others another day, but still you can copy and paste them. That's true. Thank you for that hint. All right, hello, Jamie from Kansas. Nice to see you today. All right, so the faux shutter card, if we're doing a black base, we need a black piece that is 5.5 by 4.25. So that's going to match up with the front of your card. All right. And we're using the middle size square from the stitch shapes to cut that little center out, okay, on a diagonal. All right. And you can do it in the middle, or I like to do it just slightly higher than middle. I don't know, I just kind of like the way that looks better, but you don't want to do it way to the top. So you want it to look kind of like that camera shutter, so fairly centered, okay? So you would cut that one out there, and then the next bigger size you would cut with a colored piece of cardstock, okay? And so that one's going to be bigger. So then when you layer those, you'll see a frame underneath. All right. All right. Hi, Sally, another Kansas. Are you guys friends? All right. Do you know each other? And then you would put what you cut out here, you can put behind to get another layer back in there. And then you would put a piece of white with something stamped on it right in the middle. Okay, it's kind of as if you're focusing in on that image right in there. Okay, and I thought I would choose a nice light color. This is Lemon Lolly, one of the new colors in the color refresh. So it gives you that feeling of depth. You have all the layers and it's going deep in. So I understand having the layers. Some people might even take it a step further, cut a smaller square out of this, and then having this behind it. Okay, so it depends how far you want to go with that. So that's one way. But then also, after you have that, those layers, now this is not glued down, so ignore, that it might be a little crooked. After you have that, I mean, that looks kind of cute just as it is, too. Put a little saying over here, or a gingham ribbon would look really cute, really pretty. I might actually do one of those up. And then you need some strips. This border around here is a little less than a 1/4 inch. I guess you could use a 1/4 inch, but it really is a little bit less than a 1/4 inch. So if you just go a hair under, or 3/16, then that could work. All right. Let me get this. Like I said, it's not all glued down, but I might want to use these pieces for something else, but I wanted to show you how it all goes together. Okay. So once that's like that, then you would take your strips and you're going to lay it down along here and going off the side of the page. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just put it together. Not a big deal. All right. Just going to put a little. I'll go here. Be too hard to just keep holding it together. All right. Now there we go. We're going to layer that on there. We'll put this behind. Okay, so I'm going to put my adhesive here. Okay, just doing this quick. Like I said, you don't have to be doing this part with me. I'm going to get my silicone mat so I don't get glue on my paper. Because the silicone mat, no glue will stick to it. That's really nice. If it's on there, you just take your finger, you rub it off, it just like curls up and crumbles off and you throw it in the garbage. So all good. So that way my paper stays non-sticky. All right. So then you would have that there, right? Then you would take your strips and you're going to run it along the edge of the frame. And, hey, good morning, Maria. And you're going to run it off the paper. All right, all the way to the end there. All right, and this is another good reason to have your silicone mat underneath, because if you put glue further than you need, then it's going to be on the mat and not on your paper again. All right, I'm just going to take that off for a second. And then you're going to start from that point, and you're just kind of nesting it into that indentation, and you're going to run it over here. I'll just snip a little bit so I don't have too much dangling, and then I'll trim it to the card later. All right, so I'll put that down, put down some glue. All right. All right, and so there are pros and cons to doing the card this way. This piece is long enough I can use over here, so that's good. And I'll point those out as soon as I have it all together. Point out the pros and cons. I like this way because these strips are flush with the top card layer. Okay, flush right there. You have your edge going in, which is fine. But, okay, so then we'll go from this point over there. All right, so it's going to give you sort of that look of a shutter. Okay, so let me put some glue on there. Okay, so that's that. So once it's all dry in the back, then you can trim it to match that black layer, which, reminder, is the same size as your card front. And like I said, this is a way that you're going to use a little bit more cardstock and have more layers, which is all fine. Okay, so the pros, you have a nice look here, nice level. It's all sort of inlaid there. Oh, see, I'm having it this way. I could put it slightly higher. And the con is you're using a little bit more cardstock, more layers, because then this is going to go onto your card base, and then you have your inside layer as well. And okay, that would go there. And then you can always, put a just stamp your sentiment down here. The two other things that I don't really love about it is the stitching, you can't see the stitching all the way around. It kind of gets interrupted because your strip is going over it at each corner. So you have a little gap in looking at the stitching, which again, it could be a game changer for some. It could be not even noticeable to others, but that's just something to consider. And also, you have a little bit of a height difference. I'm going to get my little pointer here and be the teacher. We have a little bit of a height difference because this is down flat onto this layer that's back here, right? And then you have, when it goes over here, it's going up and over this other black layer because they're overlapping. So you see a little bit of a hump there, a teeny tiny bit. If you're OCD, you'll notice it. For people getting the card, probably not. All right, and you might even see a little bit of a gap right in there because of that there. Hi, Ricky. Oh, I'm glad you like the layout. Have you done one before like this, Ricky? Just curious if anybody's done this before. It's kind of all the rage at the moment. Okay, and then you would put your little design, whatever you want in there. It could be a saying, could be an image, and then you would put that to your card front. So it's a very graphic look, right? And I thought, I was looking for something that could stamp in this area for this card, and I saw a circle saying, said, oh, these are a good size for that. And I said, smile. Well, isn't that perfect if you're replicating the shutter of a camera, right? Smile, say cheese. So I thought that could look really nice in there. So I will actually stamp it on my next version. So I thought that could look really cute right there. All right. Oh, hi, Lee. Good morning. It's new to you, Elizabeth. That's good. That's good. I appreciate hearing if people have learned something, learning something new, or if you've tried it, maybe you have some other ideas for us. That's always helpful as well. All right, so that kind of looks fun. I purposely chose a light color so that it's easy to see the definition of the lines all around. All right, so now here's an easier way to do this card. You still need your black card base, and now if you're crafting along, you can follow along with me. You're going to put your white piece on the inside. Of course, if you wanted to stamp something in there, you could do it ahead of time. And let me get my real pieces here. Okay. Put those aside. All right, so you needed your card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And the white piece will go on the inside. You can do that later if you like. Then you need colored piece of cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4. And it's, your typical card layer. So you're that, 1/4 inch smaller. And, oh, thanks, Jamie. Oh, yeah, I appreciate you sharing. That's wonderful. Anybody who can share, please do. It's always good to share what we learn, right? All right, so we're not gluing anything down yet. Okay, I'm just going to show you how it's going to go. Then you're going to cut your stitched square. This is the middle size. You have 5 here from the stitched, from the stylish shapes. All right, and so you're going to use the middle one. Okay, third biggest or third smallest, however you want to consider it. Okay, and you're going to just cut that out of a scrap paper, okay, which I've already done. Okay, and if you don't have stitch shapes, just cut a square. This is about 1 7/8 or just about 2. You could do 2 inches. It doesn't matter. You can make it bigger if you want. So whatever works for you, you can do that. And so we're going to just glue that down on that layer. So I'm just going to take the card base aside for a moment. I like to use my grid paper here. Let me tilt this a little bit So you can see up here, I use this a lot. I use the center is marked at 0, and then 1 inch is on either side, 2, 3, 4, 5. It radiates outward. So I like to line up my paper. This is 4, so I'm lining up to 2 and 2. And I'm going to line up the point to 0, and I'm going to eyeball that I'm straight by aiming it toward this line down here, which is still the 0 mark. Okay, so that gives me a little bit better chance at getting it straight and centered. So like I said, you could put it exactly in the middle. You don't want to do it too high because you need room for those strips to go around. So I like bringing it down just a little bit above the center so that it gives you that, I don't know, it just for some reason gives you a little more space for your sentiment here, and it doesn't have to be so like even, like just so much in the center. I like things just a little offset. So we're just going to glue this down. Okay, so make sure my paper is straight with my grid lines. All right, aiming my point to the 0 line. Here and here, and then I know it's straight. Maybe that's a little high. Can I scoot it down without getting too messy? Maybe. Okay. Again, it's up to you. You can absolutely center it if you like. All right. I got a little smudge. I had a little sticky on my hand. So I'm going to use my adhesive eraser. I can't imagine not having this. Stampin' Up! Used to sell these, but you can get them in the craft stores, or somebody even said the dollar store sometimes has these things. It's just like a little gummy eraser. It's firm, but you just, once the glue is dry, you just rub it off. It just peels right off, and all these little pieces you can eventually just pull off and throw in the garbage, and you're all good to go. So it's no longer sticky. All right, then you're going to take your strips. 1/4 inch is fine. If you want them a little shorter, like I said, you could do 3/8 of an inch or 3/16 of an inch. That was more important if you were filling in that gap, doing the card the other way. Okay, between the gap between the inner stitching and the outer part, because that seemed to be the dimension there. On this one, it doesn't matter. It could be a little bit bigger. See, this is the difference. It's not that much different. So this is 1/4 inch and this one is 3/16. So whichever look you like is fine. You just want them to be the same all around. So just to see the difference, I'm going to use a 1/4 inch one. And you're going to start, let me get my silicone mat back here. You're going to start by lining it up with one of the points. It doesn't matter which one you start with. And you're going to put your adhesive on the back of there. Okay, I'm just going to, again, trim that just a little bit, keeping it longer than my card, but just make it a little bit easier to work with. Okay, so you want the flat edge of that strip to go in line with the other side of the point there. Okay. Oh, good, Sue. Hi, Sue. I'm glad you like it. I thought it was cool. I really did. All right, now we're just going to work our way around, do the same thing on each side, starting from the black. And we're just going to butt that up against here and let it go the length here. So we suggested 5.5 inches long. That's definitely going to be enough for you. You can use shorter strips, for your shorter pieces if you have them. It doesn't have to be exactly 5.5, but 5.5 gives you plenty of room to play with on the other end there. All right, so let's get that glued down. Okay, Patty, you're trying to craft along. I don't know, Lois, if you are, what colors are you using? If anybody's crafting along, tell us what colors you have there. And I hope you share on Facebook later. Okay, then we just rotate it and we'll start from that line and go across the card again. Okay, that would be plenty. I know I didn't have to even go that far, but just to make sense. So you're butting it up against the other black strip and keeping it butted up against that stitch rectangle. Okay, just until I get neat, I'm just going to take the bulk away from there. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. One more to go. Right up against there. Looks really cool with the black and a color, right? I can't wait to try other colors. I only tried this first last night. I actually gave you the measurements before I actually tried one. I had a workshop last night, met some new people. We actually did paper pumpkin kits, the Fun in the Sun, the July one. Has anybody done those? Those are good. So everybody did one of the 3 cards that comes with paper pumpkin kit, and they were able to take the rest home to do, and I gave them some alternative projects as well. They were all brand new stampers, and they did a great job. Paper pumpkin kits are pretty easy, especially for beginners, or if you want to do some projects with some kids. You know, you'll have to work with them, especially if they're kind of young, but it's fun. I've done some with my grandson. All right, so isn't that cool? So it gives you the same look, right? But it's a little flatter because the black is the same level as your inner square, and you see all the stitching all around, right? And it's a lot easier. You don't have that extra black layer. So when you put it on your card front, that's all good to go, right? And really, I know you're looking on the camera, you know, but even in person, it looks the same to me, and it's a lot easier. I just kind of like that look better. So we will now glue this. No, I'm going to stamp it first. Okay, I'm going to stamp Smile over here. Now, of course, if I mess it up, you would think, okay, well, all this is for naught. You could always stamp it before you put your black lines on, just to be sure. And if that doesn't work, flip it over. But if it doesn't work, we'll cover it up with a label, right? That's all good. All right, so I'm going to do Smile. Like I said, I didn't even think about it as being relative to the camera. See, there I was also careful not to get glue on my paper, and I put my sticky ends of the strips down. The sticky on my paper there. All right, that's okay. Got plenty of the paper. If you don't have any of this grid paper, you might want to consider getting some. You can protect your workspace with any kind of paper, but it's nice that it's a big mat, and I love the grid lines on there. One side is metric, one side is inches, and comes 100 to a sheet, to a whole big sheet, and you don't have to throw it away just because you get a smudge on, and use them to the death. You should see some of mine. Actually, it's kind of fun to go back and see the past projects. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that project. Some of them are quite old. Or sometimes when I would have stamp camp classes at my house, sometimes I would use the ones that were slightly used. It's the same set of girls, my New Yorkers, that we would stamp with. I'd Smile. And so it was fun for them to see, oh yeah, we did this, you know, a few months ago. I remember that, or last year. I mean, look, did I tell you? Messy, messy. I'll use some of those to stamp off my ink before cleaning it. That way I don't have to get as much ink on my chamois, and I don't have to clean it as often. All right, so we're good for that. Again, that was from circle sayings. Love the little casual script there, and it has nice size sentiments for this type of project. Okay, and I will, oh, you know what, I'm going to leave that out because if I finish up the other card, then I'll use that as well. All right, and you saw already the little flowers I want to use in there. I'm going to use the same ones again. This is from Just My Type. I just love these cute little flowers. Stamp It Up gave us a card with those flowers in Norway colors. When we went to Norway, there was a little card that says, oh, it came in our swag box and said, oh, congratulations, you know, you've earned the trip. A little handmade card by the people at the home office. So I just love those little flowers and the old-fashioned typewriter, and it looked like the keys. Give me a thumbs up if you remember typing on something like this. I had one of these in college. Right, there were electric typewriters around, but I had an old-fashioned one at first that you had to really press hard and go down hard on those keys, right? Then you made a mistake. You had your corrected tape, right? Yep. Oh, a picture of a family in there. That's a great idea, Renee. Yeah. Very good. Okay. I'm bringing back that messy sheet again because I know my flowers are going to go off that page. So choose an image that will fit your diagonal. All right. I guess I was a little overzealous with some of the inking on that one, but that's okay. It'll be all right. That'll go in the middle. Okay, we're going to color it with some blends. I have Granny Apple Green and Poppy Parade. So I'm going to use both the light and the dark. I'll do the same thing I did before. A little dark on these little leaves. And you don't even have to get the whole area filled if you don't want, because it looks like light shining on there, a little drop of dew or something. Right, this one I'm going to just do in the lighter color. Very subtle difference, but it'll be a little different. So it's good. I love that really, really sharp tip to the brush tip. Really nice and pointy to get down in those little areas. Manual typewriters and a few electric. Lucky to get an electric one. Yeah, it was good. Actually, in high school, senior year, I took a typing class. I wasn't a business major, but summer school, I took a typing class just to hone up on my typing skills. And I think it's a lost art. I mean, nowadays, kids learn keyboarding. They say, oh, I'm going to do dark on this one. And they encourage, real typing, but I don't think to the extent that many of us learned, if you're of my generation. I'm just grouping a lot of you in my generation. But one of the things I was adamant about my daughter learning how to type. So whenever she had to type reports for school, I said, I will dictate to you, but I want you to do the typing. And I helped her make sure her fingers were in the right place. And she became a whiz at typing. And a lot of her friends of her generation, not so much. The kind of hunting, pecking, and going around like this. Some people have gotten pretty good at it, but still, it was, she goes quick. She's quick. I'm just, even though these are kind of black already, I'm just going to put a hint of red so it gives a little glow around there. And anyway, so since at the time she might not have been so happy that I made sure that she did the typing, but afterwards she says, "Thank you, Mom. I really appreciate it, especially when I see a lot of my classmates struggling with that." All right, then we're just going to glue that on there. You could pop it up with dimensionals, but I think that it kind of defeats the purpose of it looking inlaid and looking deep in there. So I prefer it looking flat. But you can do whatever you like. It's your cards. It's not going to look horrid. It'll all be good. And it's a clean looking card, right? I love black with little hints of color. I know there's a lot of color here, but I love, just how the black highlights the color. You got your little bits of color there. And then we're going to put that on the black layer to really frame the whole thing. Isn't that sweet? Yeah. So actually I had an old, it was heavy metal, it was brown, a dark brown metal typewriter that looked very similar to that, with the keys coming, when you press the key, the letters come up and everything. It was an antique. When I had it up in my attic for years and years and years as an adult, I didn't want to throw it away. And it just stayed in the attic. We used it in the school play once for a prop when we needed a period looking office. And that was all good. And then it stayed in my attic. And then I moved. I cleaned out the attic, and I wasn't sure where or how to pack the typewriter. So I said, I'll get to it later. And guess what? I left it in the attic. Forgot to bring it down. That and an old-fashioned telephone. I mean, real old-fashioned. The heavy black ones with like the big round ear pieces and a black wire coming out. Not even a spiral wire. not that the spiral cord. So I left both of those things up there because I just said, oh, I'll pack these later, and I forgot all about it. So I know, I hope the new owners did something fun with them. So there we go. That is the 2 ways to do the cards. And like I said, can you notice a difference? Not really, right? So then I was thinking also, all right, so this is raised. And sometimes when you look at something, remember some of those crazy images, you can look at it one way and see something popping out in the forefront, and then the other thing is a background, but then you have to change your mind to see it differently so that something's a background, something's a foreground. So when I first saw this card, I was thinking that the yellow pieces were raised and the black was just the background, because that's what it looks like when it's on the card base, right? So, but obviously it's, we just did it the other way around because you use the strips. So just for fun, I'm always trying to figure out something different to do. So I said, I am going to try, and this was much easier, by the way. So I was going to try, so I was thinking out, how could I cut those pieces to look like that? And so this way, the yellow parts would be raised, kind of like they are the pieces of the shutter. And the other pieces would be more inlaid, okay, and really getting a little bit more of that depth rather than having the black on top. But to be honest, even in person, it's so flat, you really don't see much of a difference there. So what I did was, and maybe there is a way, I'm going to do one up at some point. First thing I thought was, okay, I would cut out my center as usual. So let me do that. I'm just going to show you my thought process. All right, not sure if you're interested or not, but but I do recommend when you are doing that to use a little piece of washi tape, because as you run it through your embossing machine, it could move a little bit. We used to have magnet plates. I still use mine occasionally to hold this in place, but Stampin' Up! Was revisiting making those better. So we don't have those offered anymore. We did for one time, but then there were some problems with them, so they took them off. One thing about Stampin' Up!, they will not keep a product in their line if it is not perfect, if it's not good. Okay, so this is kind of what I did. I tape it down on the inside because, well, on this one, yeah, it could end up using that, but I really was looking to get this opening here. So I put little washi tape on the part that I might not be saving. Let me just run that through 1 second. Okay, so I ran that through. Then I said, okay, all I have to do now is to cut these pieces off here, right? All right, so I did that, but then realized that I had to do it a little differently. I'm always thinking spatial. I'm a very spatial and I wouldn't say mathematical person, but you know, definitely the spatial kind. All right, so here's my black card base. And then, so what I did was I took my trimmer and I lined it up over here. I said, okay, I'm going to cut the stitching off. All right, so I'm going to go in a little bit, maybe up. First I did just half of this, like a 1/16 of an inch. And I said, oh, I probably need to go a little further. And then I cut that all across. Then I turned it and I did the same thing on each side. Okay. But then I realized I wasn't going to get that kind of spiral look to it. And I'll show you how that came out. Let me see if I can put this puzzle piece back together again. All right, this goes here. And then this goes here. Yes? Yeah. No. Let me think about this. All right, this definitely goes over here. See, this is the wrong one, so that's why it didn't work out well. This way. Okay, yeah. There we go. All right, so what happened was I wasn't thinking, and I cut the whole thing across like that. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have started from here and gone straight down. And then from here and down, from here and down, and then from here and down. So I ended up with all these parallel lines and just this one that's sort of in the off direction. So these two were cut wrong. So then I said, well, we're going to do it this way. So this is the way my card was. So I'm going to start from about, now this is where I had to sort of eyeball it a little bit. I started from about 1/4 inch up. I could line it up with my paper trimmer over here. I know this is more work, right? I know. It's like, Lorraine, just stop. Just stop. But I like thinking about things in different ways. So I'm going to start 1/4 inch higher. I'm going to go from there down. Okay, so now that's just a flap because the next one's going to go other directions. So then I turned it and I'm going to go from that slit. I'm going to measure up to 1/4 inch over here. I'm going to go from that slit down to the other end. The same way that I would lay out the black strips. Okay. So that becomes this piece here. Now this part, this one I went a little smaller. So I'm going to see how that goes. I'm going to go from there to the end now. This might come out way differently. I don't know. We shall see. I'm going to start from there. Going in that 1/4 inch, measuring the inside of the square. And wait a minute. Wait. Let me think this out. That was the last one. Oh, that was the last one over there. Okay. Yep, that's right. I'm going to go from here to there. Yep, I was right. Phew. Let's think it out. I think I was right. We'll see. Oh, see, I moved it a little bit there. Well, now you have a frame for another project. like I said, I didn't think this was necessarily any better than the card I showed you how to do the easy way. Okay. So this was my original pieces. Let me keep those aside. Let's see if I can fit this back together again. That definitely goes there. And that one I think goes there. And it goes there. Okay, so I definitely cut this one a little more than I needed to, but you kind of get the idea. So now what I would have to do then is go back and trim these so that they're equal. So I was saying, okay, no, this is not the this is not the easiest way to do the card. Great like this, like putting a puzzle together, and yeah, quilting brain. Yep, you got it, Lois. So anyway, thinking out the spaces and all of that, making some mistakes and saying, no, that's not going to work. So, yeah, so I'd like to see what you guys come up with and what thoughts you have. You can try it both ways if you like, but really this was just to look at it. It's good. The center is raised a little bit, but you know what? Someone's not going to look at it and say, oh, well, you know, that really should be recessed. Or, you know, like I said, we're pickiest on ourselves. You know, we're more harsh on ourselves than anybody else. So, I hope you try it. Elizabeth, Patty, how did your card come out? What did you use in the center? She used balmy blue with the black, she said. So that's going to look really nice. I hope you share your card with us. You know, when I post the pictures of the card later, you can share it up there. That might be the easiest place, rather than in the comments of the video. So I'll make a separate post for you to share right after this one and see how it goes. All right. You're hopefully getting this die set today. Oh, that's right, Jackie. You ordered it. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I love it. If you don't have that set, then I definitely recommend that you get it, because you have 6 circles, 5 squares, and 4 banners. All right. You guys want to see the cards we made at the workshop last night with Paper Pumpkin? By the way, speaking of Paper Pumpkin is a subscription kit, a lot of you know, and they Stampin' Up! Has, we talked about last time, Stampin' Up! Has over 30 kits available, but you have to go online to see them. When you go on StampinUp.com or my store, you will see a place where you can click on kits, and then you will be able to see all the kits there, and they are on sale this month. So make sure you, if your order is under 150, make sure you use that host code, please. And you can get up to 30% off of some of the kits. Let me show you, but not the Paper Pumpkin. That's a subscription, so that's not that one. But you can get off of lots of other kits. One second, let me grab some things here. Okay, so one of the kits, then I'll show you the Paper Pumpkin projects that we did. One of the kits is this really nice, comes in this box, this nice little pizza type box, but rectangular. One of the kits that's on sale, it's normally $25, it's $20 now. So you get $5 off of this, and it is birthday card organizer kit. Oh, can you see that? Yeah. And it's a spiral bound book. This is reminiscent of the Abigail Rose. Oh, that's upside down, isn't it? There we go. Abigail Rose paper that we used to have. Do I have that here? Oh, I guess I put it away. Yeah, I put it elsewhere because it's retired. Anyway, I love those the petal pink, and this was succulent and evening evergreen. But it's a book where you put the month here. You have little die cuts that have the month on there. Here we go. Different languages in case you don't speak English. And you put the month on there. You put the people's birthdays there. And you have a page for each month as you make or write out your birthday cards. You put them in there and you have them ready to go. Right? Isn't that cool for people who want to try to stay ahead of things and be organized? And this way you look each month, say, okay, so-and-so's birthday's coming up next month, and you can work on those cards. So also in the kit comes enough to make, I believe 12, yeah. I think 12 cards, either 10 or 12 cards. And it comes in this beautiful kit with matching envelopes. You have some tear and tape. You have adhesive back sequins. You have little glue dots, and you have foam dimensionals. You have sayings for your cards. You have die cuts that you can easily punch out and put on your card bases. So they're simple cards, quick and easy, but they're pretty. Right? Who wouldn't love one of those? All right. And you have the directions to put them all together as well. So that's one that's been really, really popular, and it's been around for a little while. So I don't think it's going anywhere, but it's, it makes a nice gift too. Right? So not just for yourself to be organized, but, other people might enjoy that. It's very pretty, and you have everything you need in there. There is no stamping. Just a matter of putting the die cuts on with your adhesives and maybe adding a few little of those iridescent sequins on there. So that one, like I said, I noticed used to be 25 and now it's 20. Right, and all the other kits, there are some birthdays, there's some little treat boxes, there's some masculine cards. A lot of options you can see on the online store. Okay, so now let's get to the paper pumpkin that we did last night. Okay, real quick, then I'll let you guys go. So, as you know, paper pumpkin comes in these great boxes. It comes right to your doorstep, just like this. Cellophane wrap on there with your address label. Open it up. It's all nice tissue paper. Okay, getting something really fun. And you have instruction sheets. Now, this is a little messy because we already opened it and did it. But you have instruction sheets. Tells you exactly what you need for each card and how to put it together. There's your tear tape. There's your glue dots. And you have your finished cards there. So not even anything to read. Just follow the directions. Put your stamp on the lucite block and ink it up, and shows you how to do the fold. These were fun because it was called the side step fun fold. And let me move these out of the way and you'll be able to see better. So these were the 3 designs. One with surfboards, one with beach umbrella and sand fun tool things. And then the last one, where did that one go? Oh no. Well, the last one was, I had it out, that's why it's not in the box. Okay, last one looked like this. Okay, it popped up and had the palm trees in the sailboat. Right, and again, it comes with a little stamp set, a little ink spot, a 1-inch ink spot that you can always re-ink if you get your re-inker, so they will last a long time. Every month, paper pumpkin comes out. You don't know what it is ahead of time. You get an idea. You know the name of it. You might get some hints as to what kind of cards are in there. Cards of encouragement or cards of, birthday or masculine look or adventure or something like that. So it's, wait, this could be a card in here. No, those are the envelopes. All right, comes with envelopes. See, to match your card. So that's nice too. So you don't know ahead of time, but it's kind of like a fun thing when it comes to your door, like a Kid of the Month club. Every month, they give you a different color ink spot so that you can collect all the colors, right? Out of 50 colors that Stampin' Up! Has, it'll take a long time to, more than 4 years to get through all the different colors. So you will not, if you're a regular subscriber, you will not get 2 of the same colors ever. And I made up a couple extra cards that the girls could do because they were all non-stampers. They didn't have any other supply. So I wanted to make up a card, 2 cards that could use their additional stamp sets and the ink pad. So I gave them some materials for that, and they could do those up at home. So they really had a good time. And that was a lot of fun. Now this one was a little more complicated than some others because of that side step. Now this one wasn't completely done because it had a little flip-flops on there and some sand things down there. But I was just giving everyone an idea of what it looked like. Okay, so it was really fun. You have those different layers in there. So the left side of the card is folded like a regular card, but this one has those extra folds in there to make it look like steps, and you get some dimension on there. Isn't that cute? Yeah. So it's fun for the summer, and we had a lot of fun. All right. So I hope you try the faux shutter card. I'm going to turn my camera around and wish you all adieu. There we go. Let me pull this up. Okay. All right. So I hope you tried that show photo, the show photo card. That's pretty funny. The faux shutter cards. Do that one too. And post them in the Facebook page. All right. So don't forget 30%, up to 30% off the kits. And use your host codes from July if you have them. And you're always welcome to join my team. There are a couple. I had one new member join just a couple of days ago, and there are 2 more that are probably ready to join as well. So always increasing our team and the fun we have all together. So if you have any other question, let me know. Somebody said, yeah, that would be nice and easy to do. Just put some DSP in the middle there too. Take something that has a nice focal point. Okay, your DSP, as you know, can be your focal point. We've done a lot of cards with that lately. I thought maybe I'd actually do some stamping rather than just stamping the sentiment. Oh, here's a card that my friend Judy, the new stamping friend Judy that I met a few months ago, sent me. So that was fun to get. And I happened to use the same smile, the same sentiment there. This is an old tulip punch. 3 strips of DSP or stamping something. And so this one is stamped, and then these 2 are DSP, and then this is just the card layer. And that's where you stamp your sentiment. Add a few embellishments. You got a beautiful card. I was so happy to get this from Judy in the mail. So keep sending your cards. I was talking with the girls last night that how fun it is when they receive a card. They say, oh yeah, I keep it up on my mantle or on my shelf for months. Because the people don't send the cards anymore. So think about that happiness that you can give to somebody else, right? And, send our cards out for just no reason. Just hope this makes you smile. And it did. It did. All right, guys, have a great week. And I hope to see you soon. Oh, I didn't announce the raffle winner. Oh, hold on. From last week. Let me see. Let me see up here who I wrote it down up here. Hold on one second. Okay. So you do have to be in the US for me to send you a gift. Oh wait, hold on one second. I'm just finding it, trying to find it here. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was Michelle Collins, right? Congratulations. So you were the raffle winner from last week. So I'm going to be sending you a nice little gift, okay? I have some nice embellishments, a little pack of some beautiful pastel embellishments to give to you. So, all right. So have a great week, everybody, and see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.